everybody to another edition of Blacks in Motion right here at BVN at 8. And as always, it's your sports guy Cliff here giving you the hottest news in sports out there right now. Now I have one topic I want to cover this week, and it's definitely the hottest piece of news out there in sports. And what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Colin Kaepernick and him protesting the national anthem. Now, I love sports because sometimes sports forces us to tackle some issues in society that normally go a little bit unspoken or untalked about. So going back to Colin Kaepernick, he said, look, I feel that some of the people in the nation are getting bad treatment, so I'm not going to stand up for the national anthem. Now, this was met with mixed reviews. Some people liked it, some people didn't. But the big thing is that he's a National Football League player, a quarterback, somebody for the San Francisco 49ers. And he's taken some of that celebrity to raise an issue. So I want to talk about a few points in response to him doing this. So the first thing I want to say is I want to issue a challenge to people. When you get information through the media, I challenge you to do some research. Do a little research on what he said his motivation was. Police brutality, mistreatment of people of color. If you go back and you look at it, don't just look at it now and what's happening in 2016, but look at race relations in the nation from the beginning of time. I would also charge you to do research on our country. A lot of things that we've learned about America, we just got from school and we just take it as fact and move on, but we really don't look at what the real facts are. Who wrote the national anthem? When was it actually adopted as the national anthem? Was it taken into account slavery, black people, white people, race relations? What is the decorum when you hear it? Are you supposed to stand and put your hand over your heart? Or if you put your hand over your heart, can you sit down? Do we know? Do the research and come up with an answer for yourself. Now, because we here at Blacks in Motion and Cliff always got to give you his perspective, I want to tackle a few facts about what Colin Kaepernick did. The first thing that I want to say, he got a lot of backlash from veterans and people saying he was disrespecting the military and servicemen. Let me tell you something. The flag, the stars and stripes, it represents our entire country, which includes the military. But it is not an exclusive symbol of the military. So when he talks about the anthem, he's talking about the country and government as a whole, not just the military. He's actually had some veterans come out and say they support what he did, because this is another fact. The servicemen in the military do exactly that for our country, fight for freedom. They fight to give him the right to be able to voice his opinion. We're America. We're not other countries. In other countries, if you did that, you can be in prison and even killed. But that's what sets us apart. We're America, and that's what our military protects when we have to go out and spread democracy. Not always a good thing, but hey, that's what we try to represent in our country. Also, first and foremost, he's a human being, a black male, a citizen of this country. He can do all those things, because if he didn't play football, he just might be subject to some of this discrimination and brutality that's out there. Which leads me to the fact of, yes, he's a football player making millions of dollars, and that's why it's even more profound the stance he's taken. Because he has it easy, because he's privileged. But what he said is that, hey, if I wasn't a football player, I might be subject to the same treatment, and it's not right. I think he's calling for America to be better. You know, there's some people out there that's going to vote for Trump because he's saying that you ought to make America better. But what's the difference between Colin Kaepernick? He don't have the right to do that because he's a football player, because he's a black football player? Come on, America. We have to do better, because things like this force you to question your perspective. Everybody's not white. Everybody's not black. Everybody's not rich. Everybody's not poor. But if you take the time, if you say America's a melting pot, and you take the time to get to know somebody that's not like you and celebrate those differences, that is what makes America great. That we can be different, but yet live together in a society that we can all call our own, and we can love each other and treat each other like we want to be treated. When we talked about police brutality before, I said #value life, and we need to continue to do that. And I stand up and I say, hey, my hat's off, just like during the anthem, to Colin Kaepernick for going up and making a change. But hey, maybe you disagree. Maybe you think the flag is synonymous with the military. Maybe you think that we should be patriotic in everything that we do. But either way, let me hear back from you. Cliff at blackvideonews.com. Go ahead and like this video, and also go ahead and subscribe to these videos. And as always, stay logged on and love us right here at Blacks in Motion.